the Prime Minister of Israel, the Honorable Benjamin Netanyahu.
Thank you very much. I think it was Woody Allen who said that he spent a lifetime trying to arrive late at a Jewish event and never made it. I came on time with my wife Sarah, the mother of Avner and Yair. And it's very good to be with all of you, members of the Obama administration, senators, members of Congress, my colleagues, Defense Minister Ehud Barak and Minister Uzi Landau, Ambassador Michael Oren, and the distinguished ambassadors who are here from many countries, Howard Kaur, David Victor, Lee Rosenberg, all the leaders and all the members of AIPAC, and the 1,300 students who came from around this country. My friends, as the world faces monumental challenges, I know that America and Israel will face them together. We stand together because we're fired by the same ideals and inspired by the same dreams. The dreams of achieving prosperity, security, and peace for all. Now, this dream seemed an impossibility to most Jews a century ago. You know, this month my father celebrated his 100th birthday. Well, that's not his only achievement, but when he was born, the Tsars ruled Russia. The British Empire spanned the globe, and the Ottoman Empire ruled the Middle East. During his lifetime, all three of these empires fell. Others rose and fell. And the Jewish destiny, the pendulum of Jewish fate, swung from the depths of despair to a new hope and a new beginning, the rebirth of the Jewish state. See, for the first time in 2,000 years, a sovereign Jewish people could defend itself against attack. And before that, understand what transformation this was. Before that, in our dispersion, we were powerless, absolutely powerless to defend ourselves against an unremitting barrage of savagery, from the bloodletting in the Middle Ages to the expulsion of the Jews from England and then from Spain and then from Portugal, to the wholesale slaughter of Jews in the Ukraine, to the pogroms in Russia, culminating in the greatest horror of all, the Holocaust. The founding of Israel didn't stop the attack on the Jews, but it merely, well, it's more than merely, it gave the Jews the power to defend themselves against these attacks. I want to tell you about the day that I realized what this transformation was. It was the day I met Shlomit Vilmos over 40 years ago. I was 19 years old. I served with her son, with Shlomit's son Chaim, in the same elite military unit. And one dark night, during a battle in 1969, Chaim was killed in a burst of gunfire. At his funeral in a kibbutz in the Galilee, I learned something. I discovered that Chaim had been born shortly after his mother and father had been freed from the death camps of Europe. If Chaim had been born 2 years earlier, this daring young Israeli officer would have been tossed into the ovens like 1.5 million other Jewish children. Chaim's mother, Shlomit, told me that though she was in great anguish, she was proud. At least, she told me, and this is something I'll never forget as long as I live, at least, she said, my son fell wearing the uniform of a Jewish soldier defending the Jewish state. And time and again, Israel's soldiers were forced to repel the attacks of much larger enemies committed to our destruction. Yet, when Egypt and Jordan realized that we could not be defeated in battle, they embraced the path of peace. And we value the peace treaties we've achieved with both countries. Yet there are those who continue the assault against the Jewish state. There are those who openly call for our destruction. They seek to achieve this goal through terrorism, missile attacks, and most recently by developing atomic weapons. It's instructive that the ingathering of the Jews to Israel doesn't deter them. In fact, it whets their appetite. Iran's rulers say, Israel is a one-bomb country. The head of Hezbollah says, if all the Jews gather in Israel, it will save us the trouble of going after them worldwide. My friends, these are unpleasant facts, but they are the facts. The greatest threat to any living organism, to any nation, is not to recognize danger in time, not to recognize the facts. 75 years ago, many leaders around the world put their heads in the sand. Untold millions died in the war that followed. Ultimately, two of history's greatest leaders helped turn the tide. Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Winston Churchill helped save the world. Indeed, they deserve every applause. They helped save the world, but they were too late to save 6 million of my own people, the Jewish people. The future of the Jewish state can never depend on the goodwill of even the greatest of men. Israel must always reserve the right to defend itself. Today, an unprecedented threat to humanity looms large. A radical Iranian regime Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. A radical Iranian regime armed with nuclear weapons could bring an end to the era of nuclear peace that the world has enjoyed for the last 65 years. Such a regime could provide nuclear weapons to terrorists